So
Yeah.
there are so many reasons why Megalodon could still be out there, okay?
Okay.
Reason number one, the ocean is the most unexplored part of the world. Like, in some ways, even more so than space.
That's nonsense.
It is not nonsense because we have like the Hubble telescope and it takes pictures of space all over the place, you know? And we have like spaceships going in and out. We do not have
We don't have
people
spaceships
like
going in and out. What are you talking about?
I mean satellites and like
Most of the
we're sending
satellites are
things on
pointed at
missions.
Earth.
We're sending things on missions to like take pictures of the universe and take data and stuff. But we're not doing that with all of the ocean. There's just a bunch of ocean that like no one knows about. So why not the
Are you
megalodon in there?
serious? So you're telling me, but there's so many bad points to deal with here. This is the Wild World Podcast. Today we will address some of the accusations, debate the Megalodon, but in a different kind of way, and talk about some of our favorite animal songs and much more. Welcome to episode 19 of the Wild World Podcast. I'm your host Thomas from the Wild World YouTube channel, and joining me as always is my co-host Mika.
Hello everyone. Are you enjoying the hottest and or coldest part of the year? July, Shark Week, and maybe doing some fun seasonal activities.
Just what's on your wildlife radar?
So you were going to talk about some controversy? I wasn't aware there was some controversy with you at all.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. So speaking of Shark Week, I put out a few shark videos, including a video about how big the Megalodon got. So I usually put out videos on a Sunday, but it was taking me a bit longer. So it was about Monday night where I was, about 10 p.m. Just finished uploading it and was like, alright, won't stress too much about how the video is performing right away. I'll just do something else and let it do its thing for a while. So I just went to regular YouTube to see if there's anything that I could watch. And I saw a video titled How Big Did Megalodon Get? But weirdly enough, it was a different thumbnail. I was like, what the? So another channel down to the same minute uploaded a video which is basically the same idea. I think the title is a little different. So it's a big channel called Benji Thomas. Have you ever heard of them? They're pretty big. They've been doing this for a long time. They focus mostly on paleontology. So I think their video did a little better than my one. Well, that's fine. But they're really good. But the fun thing was all the people who decided to let me know that there was another video on the same topic. But the extra fun thing was the people asking me if I stole their video to make mine, which if I had put their video on 2 times speed, I wouldn't even been able to watch a fraction of it before my video was uploaded. Like, it's literally impossible. But I appreciate all the people accusing me of that. That's pretty fun.
I wasn't aware that any of this was happening, so wow.
Just wanted to get that off my chest.
Time for you to speak your truth. All haters are probably not listening to this, so they will never know.
I don't think it was, I don't know, maybe it's a bit harsh to call them haters. Maybe people were just confused and didn't really think it through.
Did you want to talk about other shark things you did recently?
Again, it was Shark Week, but also Shark Appreciation Day was not that long ago. And I had a bit of a cameo in a Sharktoz video on why we love sharks. Sharktoz makes a lot of high quality shark content that you should check out. I have a little cameo in this video along with a few other YouTubers you may know. Do you know the Overseer?
I don't know anything.
Truth is Scarier Than Fiction. You might remember that name.
I've heard, yeah, you've talked about them before.
And of course, someone who's been a little bit of a fan of ours, Calvin the Carnotaurus, is also in the video.
Wow. So I just started my new job. It's my first job in the field of wildlife biology. So that's exciting. I have been seeing a lot of wildlife. So part of it is as a part of my job, and I'm not really allowed to share what I'm doing in my research. So you can't know about that.
Because it's not legal.
Yes, that's why. No, because we're like farming Megalodon, and we can't let anyone know.
You're the people covering it up.
Yes. Anyway, but outside of the actual job, I've seen a lot of wildlife, more than I expected, getting from place to place during the workday or just on my free time. I'm working on farmland, so I didn't expect to see a lot of wildlife, but there's actually a lot of natural space between and on the farms. So I've seen
Hmm.
lots of deer, I've seen raptors and other birds, I've seen some frogs, salamanders, some groundhogs, different kinds of rodents and shrews, and even some foxes and raccoons. But I
Wow.
haven't seen any big predators yet.
You're probably out during daylight hours.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I was driving yesterday at night and I saw a deer. I was like
Oh,
looking
okay.
out, I was like, something's gonna come out of the woods. And it was just a
Yeah.
deer.
It would be if I ever owned a ranch. I wouldn't, because I wouldn't do anything with it. But
What
if
about
I
a
did,
horse
I'd like,
ranch? That could be fun.
yeah, or just like a big bunch of land where it's like hundreds of acres. I just keep wandering around looking at like what was there.
I thought
I
we
just
were
let it
gonna
go
have
wild.
I thought we were gonna have a reptile sanctuary. That's basically a ranch. Well,
Yeah,
not really at all. Not at all, actually.
yeah.
It's totally
Well, that
different
would be
climate.
maybe. Would you not just want a really hot climate and then build a bunch of
Yeah, but it's
temperature
not the
control?
same as a ranch. A ranch is like open space where you can see everything roaming around, and our reptile sanctuary would be very jungly, I think. Anyway, do we want to talk about what do we want to do next? Wildlife in the news, or do we want
I think we
to
should just
talk
go back
about?
to the news.
Okay, so should I go first?
Sure.
I have two related stories today. First, do you know when World Chimpanzee Day is?
I do not.
Oh, you didn't read the notes? So you actually don't
Oh, I
know?
did, but I thought I wasn't supposed to
Oh,
say.
you don't? Okay, well, the answer is it's July 14th. So that
Hmm.
is 65 days since the day Jane Goodall arrived in Gombe, and it's the opening date of her new cultural complex in Tanzania called Dr. Jane's Dream. I'm not sure if this really happened on schedule or not because this article is I read it a long time ago and I like bookmarked it for July and I haven't looked into it more. I probably should do that. But anyway, it's basically like a Disneyland theme park, but only about Jane Goodall and her work.
Are there rides?
No, I don't think so. We can look at a picture of it.
It's
Dr.
basically like
Jane's
Disneyland,
Dream.
but instead of having like human workers, they're all chimps.
It's an immersive project. It's like you go into rooms and they're like decorated. It's sort of like an interactive exhibit, or like that place in like Ireland has these really good Ireland and other places I've been have these really good interactive exhibit type things where it's like art and like moving backgrounds. You know what I'm talking about? You can see them
Yeah,
at
there's
zoos and stuff.
that really cool the art exhibition that we went to or exhibit that there was like no one else there. And it was like all these
Where
different
was
like buildings and warehouses, and like some of
that?
it was just it was somewhere in Ireland, I think, like on the west
Oh.
coast, and like one part was
Oh
like a
yeah, yeah,
theater
yeah.
and it had like
Yeah,
this
it was
kind of
like yeah, it was about like native Celtic culture or something, right?
yeah, it
So
was really
imagine that, but it's
interesting.
about gorillas or chimpanzees, I mean. So it should have just opened, and like I would really like to go there. It has to be added to my list of environmental places I want to go, such as Zealandia and like a game reserve in Africa, etc. Anyway, it's really cute. I read an interview about it with her, and she said something interesting. She said she's always been jealous of Jane and Tarzan because he married the wrong Jane. I thought that was so cute. Like,
Did you met Jane Goodall or saw her in person?
no, I was going to meet Jane Goodall. My parents asked me if I wanted to go to her talk at the local museum, and I said yes, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, tickets are sold out." I was like, "Why are you doing this to me?" So no, I
Uh,
did not meet her.
not yet.
I think they sold out really quickly. So if you're in Tanzania, please go see Dr. Jane's Dream or plan a trip around it. And my second thing is more fun even than her dream being realized, if you can imagine. It was that her 90th birthday party was in March of this year. She turned 90 on April 3rd. And for her birthday party, it was a dog tribute. So everyone brought their dogs. It was 90 dogs in total on the beach with her because I guess she really loves dogs. Isn't that cute? There's a picture that I shared.
Yeah, it'll be visible on YouTube, and I think you'll be able to search it pretty easily.
So
It's a lot of dogs.
yeah, in the interview with the New York Times about this, they were like, "Oh, we didn't know that you were a dog person. We thought you were a chimp person." She was like, "Yeah, I love dogs, to hang out with." I like
Yeah.
chimps for other reasons. And they said, "How do you think it would have gone if it had been a 90 chimp salute instead?" Like 90 chimpanzees on the beach with her, and she said, "It would have been a disaster. I wouldn't have come." Oh, that was really funny.
That would turn into a horror movie.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that? This party is pretty cute, and Jane Goodall is a very cute and inspiring lady.
It would be cool to meet her, and like David Attenborough are people I'm like a little worried about, and I hope they just live
Yeah.
forever somehow.
I also wish that I was there at the party with the 90 dogs. You should have brought your dog. That would have been really cute and good.
I'm not really on speaking terms with her though.
Okay, you think all these people are on speaking terms? Well, maybe. They're all sort of like, they look like they could be in the field, so.
They must be there for a reason. They hardly just showed up.
Well, I thought it was just like she invited people to hang out with her on the beach for her birthday, and she lives in a small town, I assume. Let's move on. Oh, let's move on to your news story.
You've seen this. I think most people have seen this, but a little while ago, speaking of sharks in Ireland, a little video popped up online that claimed to be a great white shark swimming off the coast of Galway. Did you see the video?
If I did, I don't remember. So,
Oh, well, it was. I mean, you could probably look at it right now if you want to look at it in the background. It's only about 10 seconds long.
wow, there's a 5 minute long video about it. Is this a great white shark filmed in Ireland? It's all caps. Daily Mail. Shocking moment, a great white shark is spotted close to the Irish coast by fishermen. There is no doubt it is a great white shark about 3 meters in length. Oh. Okay, I just saw the video. I don't think that was a great white shark.
What do you think it was?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a shark expert, but it didn't look. They were like, it's 3 meters. That's not that big. And even I'm not even sure if it was 3 meters anyway. It looked very small.
Yeah, if it is a great
Like
white, it definitely isn't an adult.
just a little guy. Like a. I'm not sure what the shark species are in Ireland.
Well, look up short fin mako.
I guess it could be that. Sure. But yeah, it doesn't look like a great white.
No, you don't think so? I think
Why
it
was
kind of
everyone
does.
saying it was?
Well, I think the main problem is everyone saying it definitely 100% is. Like it kind of could be like a small one, a young one, but there's also a bunch of other sharks that we know do swim around Ireland and do swim around in June and July, such as the mako, which I think if you showed like a picture of a mako shark to like a person on the street and said, "Tell me what type of shark this is," you'd get a lot of people just saying great white because it looks roughly similar.
You should do that. Do a little experiment.
Yeah, maybe. Because I mean, I've gotten comments from like on the great white shark and aquarium videos, like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. We have a great white in our aquarium. It's been there for 10 years. It's fine." Like, I don't know if, and then I click on it, and every time I've gotten that comment and I've looked at the aquarium, it's a sand tiger shark. Do you
That's
remember the
funny.
sharks we saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's those. So I think a mako is looks a lot closer to a great white than one of those. So, and you can't see its teeth or eye, which would like let us know if it definitely was a great white or a mako. And a mako would probably be closer to that size.
Big mystery.
Yeah,
Well, you know what
it's
I
sort of
think it was? To
what,
transition to our next topic, in a way. I think it was a megalodon.
a baby
Dun, dun,
megalodon.
dun. Well, I'll explain later. I'll explain more later.
Okay. So this is sort of on brand for Sharky July, I guess. But we put up our poll for Cryptid Court, and it looks like modern megalodon won. I know this is a topic that people have talked about a lot. The on the megalodon video I uploaded about a week ago, someone said I'm sick of YouTubers talking about this effing fish. So maybe not everyone's super happy about it, but
I don't
we're
think
gonna
it's not watch the video then. Like the YouTube isn't. It's not being forced down there.
I don't
They
know
don't
about
aren't
it.
being forced to watch it.
But we're gonna add a little bit of a twist. We're gonna try and make it a bit different and a bit more interesting. Did you have something you wanted to say though first?
No.
No.
Just
Okay.
saying that the thing that they saw in Galway is a megalodon. That was my transition to talking about megalodon.
All right. Well, maybe we can do. I thought maybe we can do some of the rapid fire arguments or reasons people give as to why they think Megalodon is still alive.
Okay.
Okay.
I was thinking I should be pro and you should be con. Like you explain why not, and I say why.
Okay. So you're pro.
I'm
What?
pro megalodon, bro.
Okay. Why are you pro Megalodon? Why is it still out
So
there?
there are so many reasons why megalodon could still be out there. Okay.
Okay.
Reason number one, we haven't. The ocean is the most unexplored part of the world. Like in some ways, even more so than space.
That's nonsense.
It is not nonsense because we have like the Hubble telescope and it takes pictures of space all over the place, you know? And we have like spaceships going in and out. We do not have
You don't have
people
spaceships
like
going in and out. What are you talking about?
I mean satellites and like
Most of the
we're sending
satellites are
things on
pointed at
missions.
Earth.
We're sending things on missions to like take pictures of the universe and take data and stuff. But we're not doing that with all of the ocean. There's just a bunch of ocean that like no one knows about. So why not the
Are you
megalodon in there?
serious? So you're telling me, but there's so many bad points to deal with here. So you're telling me there's more. Where to begin? Okay, just think about planets. How many planets are in space? Billions, trillions?
That was just
How
a
many of
joke,
them?
but like
Okay,
the general point is that the ocean is very unexplored.
okay. I
That's
have
so
seen that
bad.
comment.
That's so bad.
Well, I have seen that before. I think that came from we know more about the surface of the moon than the bottom of the ocean, and then that got extrapolated and misquoted into we know more about space than we do the ocean.
But it's sort of like think about how much funding there is about exploring space compared to the funding there is for exploring the ocean. More in space, I would say. But
But
space is bigger, so it's a wash.
yeah, I mean, there's probably millions of planets, millions of oceans with not a single camera has ever, not a single human camera has ever snapped a picture of.
Ooh, fascinating. My favorite cryptid is non-human cameras. Anyway, so yeah, why couldn't the megalodon be in the unexplored ocean?
I feel like that's a difficult thing to even define. Like, what do you mean by unexplored ocean? Like, part that a human hasn't been in, or
Parts that
part?
humans don't regularly go to, which is most of it.
I guess so. Even though there's a lot of ocean that people aren't regularly going to, we can still find most large predatory sharks relatively easy. Like there are tourist industries around the great white, and the tiger shark, and the bull shark, even like oceanic whitetips. All of them are a lot smaller. And
Maybe they are more widespread or they don't hide as much.
wait, the megalodon are more widespread?
No, I'm saying these tourist sharks are more widespread or they don't hide as much.
Well, the megalodon teeth have been found all around the world on coasts and in the middle of the ocean.
Okay, well, wolves used to be found all over North America. So
Okay, so you're saying humans killed all the megalodon?
I'm saying sometimes animals have restricted ranges due to things such as humans or climate change or habitat change.
So you're saying their range is like in the middle of the Pacific and they don't leave that range?
Yeah, I'm saying their range could be some very small area that humans don't usually go to or study.
But you're saying because of climate change?
No, that was just an example.
Okay, well, what's the reason they're stuck in a small range?
Maybe they're really smart and they're not trying to interact with humans.
So how come all
Or
those whales that were like massacred for years didn't like try and get away from humans? Well, I guess they did,
maybe
but we were
whales
still able to
are
find
very,
them.
very, maybe whales just aren't as smart as the megalodon. Also, think about it, they could be physically trapped in a location that it's very difficult to leave, such as the Mariana Trench.
And what are they eating in the Mariana Trench?
What does anyone eat in the Mariana Trench?
Well, barely anything lives there, so
Maybe they filter feed. Hmm.
well, they weren't a filter feeding shark.
Well, have you seen the Meg, which I know you have, and the Meg 2? There could be pockets of warm water in trenches or other similar areas, thermoclines, where it's like a similar environment that they would have lived in before, but it's below a pocket of cold water, so we don't think to look there. Hydrothermal vents.
Oh yeah, hydrothermal vents. Like life blooms around them. That's like a few dozen meters or a few like 100 feet around them. It's not really like a huge ecosystem for a population of massive sharks to feed on.
As far as you know, have you been to every hydrothermal vent ecosystem in the world, personally?
No, I haven't been to any. Have you
Well,
been
then
to one that has Megalodon around
in my imagination.
it?
Also, it wasn't just featured in.
And this all came from a fictional story as well. Can
It
we put
wasn't
that
just
out
featured
there?
in Meg. It was also in Aquaman, and it was also in Dinotopia. This idea of like different warm climate zones of the ocean that people don't expect and unusual because of ocean layering, something like that.
I'm just saying the book The Meg that came out in the 90s had like the thermal vents in the Mariana Trench. And then there's no theory before then, or at least none that I can find about Megs living near these thermal vents in the Mariana Trench that apparently exist. But then after that it became a really popular idea and it's based on a story, it's based on a fictional story. That's like if I was like, you know what, I think there could be dinosaurs on an island in Costa Rica and I think they were bioengineered and they're living there now, but we just haven't heard of it.
Is that really what you think?
Yes.
Okay, well, if you're not going to accept my first points, how about this? The megalodon is still around, but has evolved into something different. Something. It's still a megalodon, but it doesn't have the same needs or features that you would be looking for. That's why I said the one that was spotted off of Ireland could have been a megalodon, and they've evolved to be smaller and, yeah, different.
Well, they're not doing a very good job of hiding then.
Why should they hide?
Well, I'm just saying, if we haven't found them, they must be hiding. That was one of your first points that they're hiding.
Sometimes scientists or just people think they know everything and they're like missing a very easy solution right under their nose. Like they think something is one species, and if they did a genetic test on it, they would see it's another species, sort of thing.
Yeah. But if it's gotten to the size of 3 meters, like
As
it's
a
not really a
baby,
megalodon. It's a baby megalodon?
maybe.
Okay, so how's it changed then?
It has become smaller, and maybe it eats something different, and maybe it lives somewhere else.
Hold on now. That one was a baby, and you said the other one is smaller. How small is it?
Just not as big as Megalodon of old.
So how big? You're just giving really vague
I don't know
answers.
how big Megalodon was. I didn't watch your video, so I don't
You
know.
watched the other video, didn't you?
No, I didn't watch
The
any
better
videos.
one.
I was busy
Okay, but you're
watching
saying,
Twisters.
but how can you say it's smaller then? If you're like, if I keep saying how big was it, you're like, I don't know. How big is it now? Well, it's smaller.
Okay, well, tell me how big it was, and then I'll tell you how big it could be now.
Okay, let's say a very, very big one, according to most recent papers, could be over 65 feet in length.
Okay, so I would say maybe now they are less than 65 feet in length.
Okay, so they're 2 feet in length? That's.
Oh, I didn't say that. Maybe they're the same size as great whites, and they're easily confused with great white.
Not this thing.
And here's another theory. Maybe they hybridized with great whites. Similar how the polar bear and the grizzly bear are hybridizing now. Maybe the megalodon and the great white hybridized, and every great white has a bit of meg in it. Similar to how every human has a bit of Neanderthal.
I don't think so. The Meg and the Great White aren't as closely related as some people think they are. Like they're in different families.
Okay, well, it could have hybridized with something else. I don't know.
But then it's
What
like,
other?
if it's changed this much, surely it's a different species by now.
Depends on your perspective.
That's like if I was like Australopithecus are still alive. They just look a bit different and aren't as hairy. They're
Uh
called humans.
huh. No, those are all my arguments. If
Yeah.
I missed one, feel free.
What else is there? Sometimes people will say, well, that's what they said about the giant squid. I don't know. Those experts think they know everything.
Those
There's a
experts
great
do think they know everything, huh?
There's a great meme that's been put on cryptozoology Reddit. I think it's from Truth is Scarier Than Fiction, where it's like a graph of time. And it's like the amount of cameras and then like the amount of footage we have of a giant squid. And you see like as the amount of cameras goes up, the amount of footage we have goes up. And then it's like a flat line at the bottom, like footage of Bigfoot as cameras have increased over time.
Wrong. We have lots of footage of Bigfoot.
But it hasn't really increased in the same way though. Like the most famous footage is from like the 60s.
Okay, but people have increasingly moved into cities, so.
I I guess so, but there's probably an increase in the amount of people going through the woods with a high quality camera in their pocket.
I don't know anyone who goes through the woods with a high quality camera in their pocket, so that's false.
Okay, you missed something. When I said high quality camera, I was speaking in relative terms, and I meant a phone. A phone. A phone can record in HD.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just a bit of fun. Okay,
I think those are the main
so
points.
let's say we're out here, we have a grant, we're going to prove that the megalodon is real. How would we prove it's alive and or how would we find it?
Yeah, and I think we have to try and like lean towards what you're saying. It doesn't want to be found. It clearly, well, the first part of what you're saying. So we're saying it isn't just a weird looking great white that we can't figure out because we're too dumb. If it's like it lives in remote parts of the ocean, it doesn't really migrate around that much. What else? It lives very deep down, I guess. So how do we find it?
Well, first, I might want to do something, work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to take ocean samples all around the world at different depths and extract the DNA. So I was taking a class once with a professor who was working on how to extract DNA for millions of species almost out of one sample. You can do that with her like genome sequencing technology thing. It uses computers and other things. What are you talking about? Anyway, and so you can use that to, for example, find every single type of bacteria that is living in a certain part of soil. That's useful for lots of different things. And it also just helps people discover new species at a very, very fast rate. So I would do that, but instead of with soil, I would use ocean samples. I would go very deep, I would go very shallow. I would sample like every single ocean, every single sea. I mean, it would still be expensive and I'd have to get to all those places, but I'm not like sending this equipment everywhere trying to get bigger data. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the first step. And I would analyze it and try to find any evidence of DNA that is similar to a megalodon.
Okay. I have sort of two questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
First, there is it's called like an eDNA survey, like environmental DNA. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
They did one of those on Loch Ness in 2019. Found a bunch of species that live there, but there were some species that would go into the loch that they didn't find. Like they didn't find any seals. So apparently seals have been confirmed in the loch at different points. So if you're doing that in the ocean, is there a chance you could just miss it anyway?
There is a chance you could miss it. So I'll do that first, and then I guess I would start looking for the most unexplored parts of the ocean, and I'd have to just start exploring them, like with a craft. Go the Meg route, build an underwater science lab with a cool underwater vehicle thing. Try to find the thermoclines, you know. Like I don't know really what else I could do that's novel besides the ocean sampling that I already said.
Like would that narrow down like the area? Like if you were just like in Hawaii and you took a sample in the Pacific, like is it possible the DNA could be from like hundreds of miles away?
This is a not an expert on this.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in the ocean because ocean moves around a lot more than soil. Maybe I could get ocean soil.
Oh, maybe.
Hmm.
That could be good.
But it would narrow it down a little bit. I mean, if I get a hit for
Yeah.
Megalodon in Hawaii, I'm not going to start searching in Antarctica. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. I think what I'd do
Yeah.
is I'd like try and bait it out instead of like looking for it. So I'd maybe do that what you said first. And then there's a theory that like if it lives deep that it's just feeding on giant squid. So maybe I get like a massive squid bait trap and put it like a few thousand feet down around the same depth that giant squid are supposed to reside and have a lot of cameras around it.
That's a good idea. Camera traps are a good way to find things that can't be found in other ways. So, how would we prove it's alive? If we don't find it, how would we go about proving it's alive in other ways? Maybe we can't unless we find it, huh?
Well, if you find DNA, that's pretty much proof.
Yeah, but what if we can't find either? I guess you can't prove it then.
And maybe this was a waste of the grant money.
Right.
You know what though?
You know,
like,
when scientists don't get their grant money, they always do stupid and crazy things. And it's the start of like almost every movie that has science in it. It's like, I got rejected for my grant. Time to die in this movie. Like time to threaten everyone's lives with XYZ.
Really?
Like it happens in Jurassic Park sometimes. It happens in The Meg. It happens in Twister. Every time someone is like angling for a grant, they end up making these terrible decisions. Grant money, the
So
biggest villain.
yeah, so like after we didn't get the grant money, we'd like go crazy when you get like a dodgy submersible, and we're like, we're going to the
Mhm.
Mariana Trench, and we're gonna find it no matter what.
Just take us there. I don't care how like sound this submarine is. The guy's like, "Are you sure? We have
I was,
nothing else to live for now."
I was gonna say, do you know like those deep sea sleeper sharks? Like I think
Mhm.
the Greenland shark is related. And there's some in like the Pacific and stuff. There's like reports of them getting super big, like not
Mm.
verified, but like bigger than great whites. It's like a good bit bigger. So I feel like even if we didn't find the megalodon with what we were doing, we could find maybe some other completely separate species of very large shark.
That could be good. And then I guess another thing you could do is like invest heavily in radar to map every single thing in the whole world. A
Yeah,
radar net, like Google Maps for the ocean.
which is like constant everywhere.
Uh-huh.
I think a few world governments would be interested in that.
Yeah.
That would be the
That's where we're
twist.
gonna get our grant money.
Yeah, that
We're gonna
always
tell each
happens.
government that they're gonna get the data, but we're actually gonna say that to every government. So they're all gonna give us
Yeah,
money, and then it'll cause a
yeah.
world war. That would be a good movie, maybe.
What it? I don't know. I
Mm.
feel like that's also a trope though, where like the scientists think they're doing it for the good of humanity, and then they find out that the general that was funding them wasn't doing it for that. They were trying to make like
Right.
a new weapon, and now they made a super shark that's gonna kill everyone or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, let us know how you would try and prove the megalodon was real, if you think it could still be out there.
Let us know if we missed any good arguments. We can
Hmm.
discuss that next time.
Yeah, and sorry about talking about this effing fish again.
So, today for Wild Chat, I wanted to talk about something I've been thinking a lot about lately. So I saw this chameleon in Hawaii, and then ever since I saw that chameleon, the song Karma Chameleon was stuck in my head. And I was just like, isn't it cool when songs are about animals or like inspired by animals? And I was like, wait, I want to make a playlist about this. So I made a Spotify playlist. We'll share a link to it. It's basically every song I could think of that is about an animal or has an animal in the title. Yeah, and I shared it with you. You listened to some of it, right? What did you think?
I think it was pretty good. There's more obvious ones in your playlist that I didn't think of off the top of my head. Like there's so
Hmm.
many. There's like Octopus Garden, Blackbird, Barracuda, Eye of the Tiger, Little Lion Man, Fishing
Hmm.
Cat. I did notice a little bit of a trend that a lot of them weren't really about the animal.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about a lot because, like, it's so interesting how as a culture we use animals for different things in our art. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the playlist right now. I have expanded it a lot. I expanded it a lot yesterday because I was with some friends and they are also biologists, so they thought of a lot of other songs to add to it.
Hmm.
So I haven't had the chance to listen to all their suggestions yet, but some general trends are horse songs are very popular. They're usually about a roaming spirit or competition.
Hmm.
Um, what else? There's like dog songs are very popular. Honestly, I was like worried I shouldn't even put dog songs in here because it would just quickly become a playlist mostly about dogs.
Right.
Tigers are about power. Birds are about so many different things. It depends on the kind of bird. There's like freedom birds, passion birds, peaceful birds. There is that's oh, insects are usually like something weird's going on. Like La Cucaracha, like what even is that song about? I mean I'd have to look up the lyrics, but and the Tarantella about the tarantulas. And Flight of the Bumblebee. I guess like insect songs are usually very, very frantic. It's like insects are going crazy and moving around.
Flight of the Bumblebee is a great title, but I feel like bumblebees aren't as crazy as the song sounds. If
They're
it was
not.
Flight of the Moth, if it was Flight of the Moth, it would be perfect.
Flight of the Moth that has been locked inside and there's a light. There's a light just
Yeah.
beyond the glass. So,
Do you have any
what do you think?
favorites?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you what your favorites were.
Barracuda. I do like the song Fishing Cat. I always listen to it when it comes up in my playlist.
That's good. It's a good song, right?
Yeah. Blackbird is a nice song. Blackbird is a very relaxing song.
Blackbird is actually a really good song. I love the like the sort of slapping beat and like just the simpleness of the bird song in the background. It's very
Yeah,
nice.
is that might be one of the few that actually has the birds, the animal singing in the song, kind of.
Yeah. So going through the playlist, one of my favorite ones would be I really love Octopus's Garden. It's just really peaceful. I like Blackbird. I like Fireflies. The song actually really fits the feeling of interacting with fireflies. Like
That's true.
it does feel like they could hug you.
Don't touch them though.
Yeah. Oh, you know, fireflies live where I live now. That's really nice. I get to just see them.
Oh wow.
Flamingo by Carol Bonito is very, very good. It's just talking about how flamingos get their colors. Frog on the Floor is a new favorite I've discovered since I made this playlist. It's just so funny. It's about a frog that got let into a party and it's just on the floor and everyone's like, "Where'd the frog come from?" And they all want to be friends with the frog. It's really cute.
White
White
Rabbit's good.
Rabbit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
We
really
both like
about.
the song Up the Wolves.
Yeah,
Weird Al has some good ones. Last night I was listening to his song Jurassic Park. I was like, I never want to come back here. The dinosaurs are killing everyone.
that has a cool music video. Like it's all stop motion, I think.
I would like everyone to just try out the playlist. I'm going to be updating it probably for the rest of my life as I think of new songs. There's
Wow.
definitely songs I've missed. If you have a good song that you want to add to my playlist, please let me know. Send us an email and I'll add it because I really want this to be a sort of comprehensive group of animals in music. And
Right.
my criteria were if it's in the title, that's pretty much an automatic yes, unless it's
Mhm.
like as part of an idiom, such as Dog Days of Summer. I don't really want to use that one. It's if it's like heavily featured in the lyrics or it's clearly about that animal in the lyrics, then that's a good one. If it just mentions it like once, where it's like I'm sitting in my room and out the window is a bird, no, like if I did that and then every single song, I would have
Yeah.
millions of songs. So yeah,
So we're trying to make the most comprehensive animal playlist, music playlist.
well that's what I'm trying to do. I listen to it at work.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can email us. You can put comments below, and also, I mean, this is a question I want to ask you. Do you ever plan to follow up and make another song about an animal?
I guess I
You've made one of
could.
the best ones because your one is it's first of all it's educational. Second of all, it's actually about the animal.
Do you think it's really that good?
Yeah, that's one of our most viewed videos on the podcast channel,
Really?
which
How
isn't
many
saying
views
that
does it
much.
have?
But I have to look it up. I mean, most viewed on this channel is probably in the hundreds. But that's good for. I mean, some videos only get like 5 views, so don't knock it. It got a comment the other day. That's rare for our videos as well.
What's the comment?
This is a cat of all time.
Nice. Thank you for the comment, commenter. Yeah, I'd like to make a new one.
It's a catchy beat. It's been
Hmm.
featured on other podcasts.
Has it?
Yeah, Calvin played a little bit on his podcast.
Oh, I didn't realize that he played it. I thought he just showed like a screenshot of it. Yeah, I think maybe I would do something about one of the animals I'm working with now. Like right now, I see a lot of bats in my work, so I could do a bat one. That could be fun.
Would you take requests
Yes, but I don't
from
know
our
if I'd ever
audience
get
if we
around
did
to
like
it.
if
Oh,
like we
yeah,
put
like
up a
a
poll?
yeah.
Or no, we'd have to do it. We do it where we put up a post and we ask people to just say, and then like the comments that get the most upvotes, like the top 3 or 4, and we could put it into a poll or something.
I think we should make it as a donation thing. Like three different like first everyone can submit suggestions, then we'll take them and if you donate, it'll be like a donation drive and whatever one gets the most money donated to it, that's what I'll make the song about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've seen other people do that.
yeah, that's that could be good. I'm not exactly sure how to do that though, but we could look into it. But you're open to the idea?
Yeah, I guess so. The problem is the other half of my right like I was the lyricist and the my brother did the other stuff. He did the
But you're a
beats.
musician as well.
I guess it's just I don't know how I'll recreate the magic. It was all him.
I'm sure you could figure it out though.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be good.
Um,
If the people are interested.
yeah, let us know in the comments or send us emails. You can send emails to wildworldpodcast@gmail.com. That's the wildworldpodcast@gmail.com. Or again, you can just comment below the video if you're watching on YouTube. Are we done with Wild Chat?
Do a little outro of my song.
A
Again.
fishing cat?
Mm.
Yeah, I've put it in like 3 episodes.
Oh, 3?
Yeah, sometimes.
And again, I was just going to say, again, everyone, please check out my playlist. You might like it if you like animals. Or you might hate it because it honestly has some like weird songs in there. Like, it has a lot of kids' songs because most of the animal songs are made for kids, I've realized. But it has some like a really good variety of different kinds of music, and they're all about animals. Please check it out.
Sounds good. Should we look at comments?
I see you put some for me, maybe.
Yeah, actually, I think the first one though, we might have read this before. Yeah, do you remember this?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Oh, well, someone commented, I really wish I could find a Megalodon tooth, man. It would be the first story I told people when meeting them, every time. My poor wife would have to hear about it daily for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, that's cute, but you can easily buy a megalodon tooth, right? I guess it's
Yeah,
not the
but
same as finding it.
yeah, I think it'd be more impressive to find it. Plus, they're like, I mean, they're sort of cheap for fossils, but they're like a few $100s.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this out the other day. A megalodon tooth that's over 7 inches long. Guess how much that would sell for?
$2,000.
$50,000.
Whoa. Wait, how big is the one you bought for your brother?
I think it's under 5 inches.
Boo.
Yeah, well, apparently less than 1% are 6-inch long, and there's maybe 2 that are 7-inch long that have been found.
I bet Nicolas Cage has one.
Maybe. But if you go fossil tooth shark hunting, or
Fossil tooth shark hunting.
if you do that and then you come home and you actually try to go fossil hunting, you can make some money if you find a megalodon tooth, a big one.
This is interesting. It's sort of true about finding something like that. One of my favorite high school teachers, he used to tell this story. He would like sort of mention it, and he's like, "No, that's for another day." Until we got so fed up with it, we were like, "Today we're not going to do anything. You're just going to tell us the story about the whale." So he told us finally that when he was in college, he was walking on the beach and he encountered a whole skeleton of a whale just on the beach.
Wow.
He like was in a sort of, it wasn't a nice swimming beach, so not very many people went there all the time.
Right.
And like I guess he and his friends went out to get a bigger car so that they could bring the bones home or something like that. And when they got back, all the bones were gone. And then I guess he found them in some lady's house one day, and she was like, "Yeah, I picked them up from the beach." And he was like so mad. He was like, "She stole my whale bones." I don't
Wow.
really remember the exact story, but it was like such an interesting story, and he remembers that all the time, you know?
Yeah. I feel like if I did find it, I mean, that was a skeleton, but if I found a cool fossil, I might be tempted to donate it too.
Tempted to donate it.
Tempted by my conscience to give it to a museum.
Well, you could keep it for when you become really, really famous and have your own museum attached to the reptile sanctuary. Reptile sanctuary
On
and
the
fossil
ranch.
museum. Right.
Reptile Ranch and Fossil Museum. One fossil. Do you want to guess what video that's from? I actually don't remember.
Well, you're supposed to write it down. How am I supposed to guess it if you don't remember it?
Okay, I think I do remember.
Like some Meg story, I guess. Some Meg video.
Yeah, I think it was when you talked about that really big ichthyosaur.
Oh, it was in a podcast?
Yeah, it was a podcast comment.
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
Sorry.
next comment. Have you heard a cheetah? They ain't get no cute voice. 3 question marks.
Did I say that cheetahs were cute or something?
You must have. I said they had a cute voice.
I don't remember which. Maybe when I was talking about cats, my favorite cat or something.
Yeah, it's from when we did the wild chat on domesticating animals.
Oh. Oh, like I was saying, like they probably are cute, like a house cat when they talk or something.
Yeah. Do you have any response for that comment? Have you heard
I
a
don't
cheetah?
really know it. I don't think I have. Maybe we should, if possible, could you find a stock footage of a cheetah sound and put it in the podcast right now?
I can try.
I'm gonna look up a video right now. Oh, they are cute. They sound like chirpy. That can't be right. It sounds like a literal bird. It doesn't feel like physically possible that this cat could make that sound. That's interesting. So to answer that question, cheetahs do sound cute. That's my determination.
Okay.
Okay, here's a comment for you. Feed all Komodo dragons, dragon emoji, to the saltwater crocodiles. Actually, it's just the saltwater crocodiles, smiley face emoji. Do you know what
Um,
that is from?
no. Well, one of the crocodile videos.
It's from your short, the 28-foot crocodile.
Oh,
But it's like, who are these people who have vendettas against Komodo dragons? Like, that's a new one for me.
I don't know. There's weird kind of fan groups.
Or hate groups.
Yeah. Well, it's like once you join one fan group, the vital part of it is you have to hate another animal. It's like you can love this animal, but we're
Oh.
also ride or die against this one.
So they're pro crocodile, anti Komodo dragon.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think they just might be anti Komodo dragon because it seems that they're from Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, there'd be. Why are they pro saltwater crocodiles then?
They
So there's
just
going to be
want the
like,
Komodo dragons to be removed and fed to the crocodiles.
surely more people are attacked by the crocodiles than the dragons.
But the dragons are dirty. They have a dirty mouth. They do.
Is that the bacteria thing? I think that's a bit of a
Hmm.
factoid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Your next comment is, why do they always claim it's a quote basking shark?
Because they did a DNA study and it was a basking shark.
Do you know what that's about?
It's the short with the plesiosaur in quotes.
Yeah. So is that the only time that an animal has been found and it looks weird and people say it's a basking shark?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the most famous one though.
Hmm. I'm wondering if it's happened more than once and that's why they said that.
Maybe.
Okay. The third comment is, I always side with the meow meows.
Captive tiger attacks.
How did you know that?
I saw it. I'm sorry. I looked it up by
Oh,
accident.
yeah, it's from Captive Tiger Attacks. I think that's cute. It's like, yeah, side with the meow meows.
It's not that cute in context though.
Well, it's not
It's
their
about
fault that
people
they've
getting
been
attacked by tigers.
It's not their fault that they're captives.
That's true.
Would you
I
would
shouldn't be
you like
captive.
would you make a video condemning slave revolts? No.
No.
So, like, the tigers are just doing sort of what they have to do, you know?
Okay.
They're like upset. They don't like to
Yeah.
be living in their conditions, I suppose.
I don't think they should be captive or anything. I don't take any joy in people getting attacked either.
So you don't side with the meow meows then?
I don't know.
Well, I do. The real hero of Burning Bright was the tiger. Wait, what happened to the tiger at the end of
I
that
was
movie?
literally just gonna ask you what happened to it, and we
I
need to
think it
watch that movie
died.
again. I
Surely it must have
imagine the tiger
died.
was. No, actually, we don't. I think we don't find. Okay, spoilers, but I think
Hmm?
the tiger survived, and it's ambiguous what happened to it.
Oh, wait. What? Do the people survive?
Are we really gonna spoil Burning Bright for all the people who are listening?
Well, they can skip ahead 15 seconds or
I
30
mean, they're not.
seconds.
No one's this far in, but no. What I think happened was, remember the dad came back to check if they were dead.
Yeah.
The tiger jumped and it started mauling him, and
Oh.
the girl and the boy ran out the door, and I think that's how it ended.
Oh, okay. So the tiger probably is roaming free in the neighborhood now and it got killed by a police officer.
Probably.
Oh well. So those are all my comments for you today.
Yep. Well, thank you for watching and or listening.
And please think about animal songs. Let me know what you want me to add to the playlist. Remember, I will be listening to this in my work time, so but make it good to improve my quality of life.
think of requests. Think of what might be good songs.
Yeah, and please send us any comments, questions, concerns, memes,
Concerns.
concerns.
What do you mean by that?
Concerns.
Concerned about what?
They'll be like,
My energy bill was a bit high this month. Okay,
it's
sorry.
like that meme. It's like, excuse me, or dear Professor blah blah blah, I'm afraid, and they just sent it. They meant to say, I'm afraid that my something something blah blah blah. Send us an email like that. Dear Wild World Podcast, I'm afraid. Send. And we will comfort you.
All right. I guess we'll wrap it up there.
Okay.
Right, thanks very much again for watching and or listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
They
Bye.
say that cats don't like water. They must not have known about me. I live, I breathe, I'm in love with the water. It's all that there is to me.
I live in Southeastern Asia, wherever water can be found. Swamps will do, and so will forests too. And I always live alone. Fish are what's on my menu, that's why they call me a fishing cat. I wait on the banks of the river, and when I see a fish, I go splash. Sometimes I just scoop the fish out with one of my cool web paws, but other times I take a long swim and I dive, grab those fish with my jaws. They
They say that cats don't like water. They must not have known about me. I live, I breathe, I'm in love with the water. It's all that there is to me.
my lifestyle must be very careful, cause people like to hunt me for my fur. Apparently, I'm worth way more when I'm separated from my fur. If all goes well, I will live for 12 years. Even better would be 15. But if my habitat's destroyed or I'm poisoned, I will be lucky to turn, well, 3. They
They say that cats